Well, one lawmaker says Congress should stop the practice of anointing a minority leader as an adjunct of the majority coalition. Joining us now is Albay Representative Edcel Lagman. Kong Edcel, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations for your re-election.
Thank you so much, Rico.
So, Kong
And-
Edcel, why do you think there is a chance that the next House leadership will form a company union led by a pseudo-minority leader?
Well, this was practiced during the 17th and 18th Congress. That's why I'm calling on the new administration, particularly the emerging leadership in the House, to desist from anointing a minority leader who becomes an accessory of the super majority. I think in a functional democracy, in a democratic forum, there must be a genuine and flourishing minority. The minority has many roles in the democratic process, particularly in the legislation of important policies.
So, Kong Edcel, have you in any way spoken with presumptive Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez, about this possibility of having a pseudo-minority leader?
Well, my statement...
Kong Edcel? Turn to our earlier conversation with Congressman Edcel Lagman from Albay, and we were talking about the minority leadership in the lower house in the 19th Congress. Kong Edcel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you
All right.
now. I hope the majority is not decimating the voice of the minority this early.
But have you already spoken to presumptive House Speaker Martin Romualdez about the potential of a pseudo-minority leader and that you want a genuine minority leader in the lower house in the 19th Congress?
Well, my statement has been publicized extensively, but I sent a text message congratulating the presumptive speaker just to start the conversation. But until now, I have not received any reply.
There are hundreds of congressmen and party list members, and from the numbers, it looks like you will really have a very small minority. You'll be one of the very few voices in the 19th Congress. What kind of role do you see yourself playing in this lower house, which could have a so-called supermajority?
With more reason, they should allow the minority to flourish, though how small or tiny we are. Because the minority has a number of functions or even obligation as the constant critic of flawed administration policies, as the courageous guardian of constitutionalism in the rule of law, as a sounding board of the people's dissent, desolation, and discontent, as a better of administration policy initiatives, and a consensus and consensus-seeking partner of the majority in the enactment of laws which are concretely designed for national development and those truly beneficial to the people, particularly the marginalized and disadvantaged. And lastly, as a crusading advocate of alternative policies and programs which may be more responsible and responsive than the agenda of the majority.
Just counting the potential number of minority members in the lower house of this 19th Congress, it could be plus or minus 10 or 12 or even less than 10. Would you like to be the leader, the minority floor leader in the 19th Congress? Kong Edcel.
I will be ready to serve as a minority leader as long as I am selected by the members of the minority, not handpicked by the administration or by the super majority. Because if one is co-opted by the majority, then we all know that the eunuch can appear to stand erect, but it has lost its virility irretrievably. So we don't want to have a castrated minority.
What
though
are
how
your...
small we are, we should be respected. We should be having our own advocacies, and we should be critical, reasonably critical of the administration and the majority leadership in the House of Representatives.
So, Kong Edcel, what are your expectations from the Marcos administration in the first 100 days?
Well, we wish for the best, but we can expect the worst.
It seems like the presumptive House Speaker will be pushing for a stimulus package. You, as part of the minority, will you support this?
Well, I think the minority should be a consensus seeker in the development of or passage of important laws. But let me just say that this Bayan Bangon Muli or BBM, I hope it's not only a change in nomenclature. There should be substantive changes in the economic and budgetary thrust of the new government. We will have to look at what they are going to lay down as a policy. This BBM should not be only in name, but more importantly and substantially concrete and better than the Bayanihan 1 and 2.
Albay Representative Edcel Lagman, thank you, sir, for joining us on The Final Word.